Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Hey, I'm Christian Cano. You're the co-host. My buttons are Moms Demand Action, Gunsmiths Legislation, Healthcare for All, Medicare for All, and also in my heart, Black Lives Matter on behalf of Joe Oldham, who's a guest of ours who passed away last year. That's it.
Hello, this is Jenny James Gunn. I am a community advocate here in Charlotte, North Carolina for LGBT women's rights with the National Organization for Women, gun sense laws with Moms Demand Action, and anything that extends equity to all. Thank you. Good morning, everybody. It is January 22nd, 2025, and it is Coffee and Pan Dulce time.
Yep.
And it's with Christian and Jenny, and we're getting into this new year. We're getting in, and it's pretty wild, and we're about, or by the time that you see this, obviously, since it's the 22nd, he's getting inaugurated on the 20th, so we are 2 to 3 days into the next chapter of American history with the America's dumbest president, you know, and he won't be president-elect anymore. You know, but he'll get to go back to playing golf, you know, once he gets inaugurated in. So it just, I mean, you know, by now he's already probably done a case of stupids. Yeah. And so, you know, it's I guess it's historic in a way that, you know, we elected him, we unelected him, and then we elected him again. It's a full circle idiot, you know, cycle. But anyway, This is Coffee and Pan Dulce with Christian and Jenny. And Christian, take it away.
Yeah, as Jenny said, I'm gonna try this. Let's see, here we go, Jen. I'm gonna try this voice. Let's see how long. I've tried this periodically. I want to welcome everyone to Coffee and Pan Dulce. I'm Christian. That just does not sound like me. But we do want to thank everyone. I can't do it. I can't do it. I don't know why I can't do it.
You're killing me.
Yeah, all right.
I can't take you serious with that voice.
Exactly. Well, as Jenny said, welcome everyone to Coffee and Pan Dulce, Christian Cano with Jenny Gunn. As she said, when you watch this, today is January 22nd, 2 days into the chaos clown show of the first American felon president. We'll be 2 days into this when you watch this. He will have been inaugurated by now. And anyway, I'm sure 48 hours after he's been inaugurated and he's retaken the office, that you're right, as Jenny said, he'll probably have at least played one game of golf. There'll be something chaotic that's happened. He'll tweet something crazy at 2 a.m. Anyway, we'll get through this. Want to thank everyone who joins us on Facebook, also those who watch us on YouTube, and the thousands who listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platform. Today's topic is America's felon president. He will be our very first elected felon president. So it'll be a very interesting 4 years. I don't know, Jen. I mean, it's 2025. I think will go faster than 2024. I don't know. What do you think? I know you've got a lot going on in your life, so it's probably going fast. Right?
I mean, I'll be busy because I'll be working and doing a lot of stuff. But But I mean, at the meantime, I get to laugh at the dumbest people in American history, and man, are they dumb? I mean, what what a group of morons they are. And you know, it's just wild to think about how stupid and how ignorant these people are. But they're showing it. You know, we've seen it in the House of Representatives for the last couple of years, as they took that over in 2022 and 23 and 24. We watched them meltdown. Couldn't elect a speaker for like 2025. I don't know however many weeks they could do that. We've seen the clown car, and we've heard the song dun 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 dun. I mean, and they're just a clown show, and
it's going to be
clowns like Bannon and Sissy SpaceX and all that. They're just going to have a cosmic meltdown because they're an absolute group of morons.
Well, speaking of that, actually, actually, two of them are in our Barb's current events. So let's do that. Let's jump directly into Barb's current events.
And this is Barb's current events.
All right, here we go, Jen. We got three of them. So, as you mentioned, and you talked about this on your show as well, Steve Bannon and Sissy SpaceX are in a cat fight. They're still in a cat fight. Steve Bannon pledges to take down Elon Musk, and he called him a truly evil guy. And so they've got a little cat fight. So that is Steve Bannon's mission, is to out chest bump Elon Musk, and they both got big chests. You know, big as in not built chest, but you know what I mean. And so it's going to be they're going to hit. Yeah, that's right. So it'll be interesting. Yeah, so they got a big fight. But what I thought was really funny about this, Jenny, is Steve Bannon said. He was not only talking about Elon Musk, he's also talking about Peter Thiel, David Sachs, and Elon Musk. He said they're all white South Africans. They should go back to South Africa. Why do we have South Africans? The most racist people on earth, white South Africans. We have them make it. Why are they making any comments about how the United States should run? Yes, that is funny. So that's the first one. The next one.
Okay,
We'll get it all out. The next one, I wanted to put this in there because it kind of relates to you, Jen. I know you're an entrepreneur, and Starbucks has a new policy. Starbucks' new policy is you can't hang around their pads unless you're buying coffee or you're buying something. I want to know what you thought about that. I didn't know I didn't know you could hang out at Starbucks without even buying anything. I thought, you had to buy something to use their internet. Anyway, so now their policy is you have to buy something to kind of hang out there. And then the last one is, and this is interestingly because of the California fires and all kinds of stuff, this hasn't taken a lot of news as much as it probably would have, but Jack Smith is resigned. He's the special prosecutor who looked into Trump. And his report actually came out a couple of days ago. When you're watching this, we recorded a week early. And it basically said that Trump would have been convicted on a lot of charges. The election actually saved Trump. And he just wanted to put it out there to say, let you know that he violated all these things. And if it wasn't for the election, and which I think that's the reason Trump ran for office. But anyway, so those are three, Jen. What do you think?
I love it because I've been saying that about all those billionaires. They all came across the southern border. And Musk came across undocumented,
sure,
and violated American law, and overstayed his welcome. And it's never thought I'd say this on my 2025 bingo card, but Biden is right; he's spot on. And
yep.
The problem is that they're talking about this after the election. Here's your issue: is that you let Wilhelm von Hamburglar win this election. Well, there's a million other. Never mind. There wasn't any other competent Republicans.
Yeah.
Either. I was going to say there's other Republicans to run, but I mean, quite frankly, it's the dream team of idiots. Is the America's dumbest president is back. As the Republican Party, aka the shit stain of the 2020s, on American history. These guys are just, it's an idiot card. It's just unreal. But I love the fact that Bannon's calling out all of these billionaire South Africans that made blood diamond money and now are using it against Americans and weaponizing their wealth while they restricted American income and created racism. Yeah, they were an apartheid state forever.
Exactly.
Elon Musk is one of the biggest racists ever. I mean, look at the lawsuits against Tesla and the plantation, the where people of color worked in his Tesla plant was called the plantation. It's a segregated automotive plant. Think about that for a second.
What do you think about Starbucks or Jack Smith?
I think it's interesting because, a lot of people do go in Starbucks and don't buy anything and use their internet. They'll stop in and kind of like we do with McDonald's. We'll run in, when we're on a road trip, we'll stop
go to the bathroom.
McDonald's and sneak in the back. Convenience stores and 7-Elevens and QTs and all that. We do that all the time. I don't know. Starbucks and a library are about the same. It's one of those things. I think it's funny, from one aspect, because I guess they don't, want people that are mooching off, to be using up their bandwidth for their internet. And they figure somebody can buy at least a $3 coffee if they're going to sit there for 2 hours and hog up a space and use up their internet. I do get it because, from time to time we do have some people that are just sit there and drink the free water that we give out but I've been there where I've had no money and I've in places and just hang out or use the bathroom or whatever, and it does suck. And it's something that every business faces, and some more than other. And it's a really the reality is it's one of those things that every business owner, but especially if you own a food and beverage business, is people coming in and hanging out and not buying anything or leaving bars bringing outside food and drink, which is really insulting. But I just don't, I mean,
I didn't know you could do that. I mean, I really thought that if you went into Starbucks, or even if you went, like, even if I go into like McDonald's on a road trip, if I go to the bathroom, I'll run in, look at the menu, and then walk out. I'm never just going to walk in there and just use the bathroom. And, I eat all the time, so I'm always going to eat something.
Sure, yeah. I'm going to give me a couple of French fries or something.
Exactly. Us, I know you and your basket of fries, so it's just
I'm a weak human being. Of course I'm going to eat some fries. But yeah, it's just one of those things. It's something that businesses, and it goes back to the no shoes, no shirt, no service.
Sure. Yeah.
Some is probably based on racism, I would imagine.
Yeah.
Because very, very white centric Starbucks up in Seattle, Washington. I'm sure there's probably some things going on in some socioeconomic politics, and it's just one of those realities. It's a tough thing. I don't know if I would announce it as a public policy.
Yeah.
I don't think I would do that because it's a bad look. As a businesswoman and as an entrepreneur, I wouldn't post that in my social media.
Sure.
I've thought it. I've thought, hey, look at that moocher. But I'm not going to sit there and put the business in a precarious deal. Like, you don't have to announce it as a policy, but if you see somebody in there sitting for 3 hours and they haven't bought a flipping thing, which is pretty obvious because Starbucks stores aren't that big for the most part. Honestly, you can say, hey, you need to buy something or you need to move along. The seating areas for the guests. And I think it's more, it's less of the internet uses, it's more using up their square footage for their guests, and if people want to use the internet, the public libraries have internet. There's a ton of places sit out in the McDonald's parking lot. Their internet usually reaches out to the parking lot. Probably McDonald's as Starbucks too. There's a lot of ways to use free internet without interfering with a business. So I don't necessarily disagree with them. But where I disagree is I don't think it's a good look for them, nor is it a good PR move to sit there and go, well, we're going to be dicks about it. And we're
yeah.
About it
it's called the Coffee House Code of Conduct.
Yeah.
So.
It sounds very luxury and very.
Yeah. That sounds like sounds cheesy.
It's not going to fly either. So they're going to get called out. They're probably going to get a little canceled.
Yeah.
And don't and here's one other final thing. Buy local. Exactly. Buy small. Buy from people like me and my business partner, and buy from us. There's tons of independent coffee houses and independent restaurants, and we've all struggled since 2020, and we've all had to survive COVID and learn how to pivot and navigate spaces. And it is harder since COVID. So the one thing is, don't spend money with Starbucks. Obviously, they don't care about you. So, my retort is buy local. We're thankful. We're grateful to see you come in. And hey, if every once in a while you don't have any money, you need some internet, it's not going to bother us. And just next time buy some, buy a $1 bag of chips or something. Help a sister out.
Yeah. Speaking of that, do y'all have internet at your?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay. All right. I just want to double check, see where I need to hang out. So
yeah.
All right. So that's right. That's right.
It's a free fry.
So hey, actually, I'm still enjoying that coffee we bought for y'all's Christmas stuff. Actually, I'm drinking it this morning.
Oh,
wonderful, wonderful coffee.
Nice.
So listen, we'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce, and we'll talk about America's felon president right after this.
Hey everyone, thank you so much for watching our Coffee and Pan Dulce show every week. Don't forget you can watch us visually on our video podcast platforms on Facebook and YouTube, but you can also listen to us on your favorite audio podcast platforms like Apple, Amazon, iHeartRadio, Spotify, and all of the other ones that your favorite, whatever your favorite is. Once again, thank you for watching us on Coffee and Pan Dulce. We'll dance out.
Hey y'all, you can watch us on YouTube, Facebook, and your favorite audio podcast platforms. You can catch your special editions of Coffee and Pan Dulce as always. And we appreciate y'all listening. And we're going to do more episodes. We're going to do some zany things in 2025. And most of all, we're going to have lots of fun as always. Thanks for listening. And look for the new shouts. Appreciate it. So we have a great fall lineup, and we encourage you to tune in to many of our fabulous shows, like our Say show, and many more things in October and November as well. Thanks for watching as always, and we'll see you next time.
Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all, thanks for watching, and support local Black and brown businesses, including our sponsor, Manolo Bakery, that has some fabulous pastries, food, king steaks, all kinds of specialty cakes, smileys, and much, much more. Some of the best food you eat in Charlotte, North Carolina. Again, Manolo's Bakery, right here in East Charlotte. Thanks for watching. Hey y'all, thanks for watching the Florida shows. They've been wildly successful. Obviously, it's a topic that you guys have enjoyed and wanted to know more of. And we like talking about the dumpster fire. It used to be the state of Florida, and we'll probably talk about it some more this summer. Thanks for watching, y'all.
Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for watching our spring shows and sticking with us. And we've got a fabulous summer lineup. I hope y'all are excited as I am. And let's enjoy our summers. Hot Girl Summer 2024. See y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Welcome back, everyone. So, buy local and buy more than just a free. Yeah, exactly. So, listen, this is historic. And I don't think that it's interesting how just you, I don't know the word I'm trying to use. Sometimes I wish I could come up with these fabulous words, but it's not normal. It's just the uniqueness and the craziness that we actually have a president who's a convicted felon. It goes against so much that many of us have been brought up with about, standards and this and ethics and all kinds of stuff. And I think that is what's been so hard to digest and comprehend about the Trump and the MAGA era, and thank goodness it will end, is the normalness of this kind of stuff. 10 years ago, Jenny, if you had a parking ticket or if you had a DWI and you wanted to run for office, you would be destroyed in the newspaper, right? I mean, wouldn't that would be? We have a friend of ours. I don't know if you remember him, Chad Stackowitz, who used to be a neighbor of mine here in South Charlotte, who ran for state senate or state house here in North Carolina.
He got cancer.
Wonderful, entrepreneur, wonderful, great business person, employs all these people, all this wonderful stuff. And the person who's running against was Bathroom Dan Bishop. And Dan Bishop sent all these mailers out about Chad Stackowitz getting a DWI or DUI when he was in Canada, when he was on business in Canada, had went out and whatever, and had the picture and everything. And it was just everyone was clutching their pearls and all kinds of stuff. That was just 8 years ago. I was maybe even 7 years ago. I can't remember how many years ago.
It's not that long ago.
Yeah, it was not long ago. And now we've got a convicted felon president. I don't understand.
Well, it's a sign of the times, and honestly, quite frankly, it shows a lot of things. And I think the biggest takeaway is it tells you how far conservatives will go to hang on to power. It tells you what they're willing to do to take away freedom and be anti-American, because everything they're doing, everything they're proposing they're going to do is some of the most anti-American things ever. The whole fight against so many people, but we look at the anti-law and order president and President Dumpster, and you look at this guy that's dumber than a sack of hammers, never served his country. His daddy didn't serve this country.
Not one family member. Not one family member.
Yeah, Captain Bonespurs, and of course he's a con artist and a slob and a racist, and so this guy, and he brings in a bunch of slobs, and they're just a bunch of mouth breathers. They and trust fund babies that have never made it in life, and they coasted off the coattails of their family members and their ancestors. And they acquired their family money was acquired through tremendous amount of theft and racism and horrible practices, just like apartheid Clyde, aka Sissy SpaceX, and these people, the birds of feather flock together, and they all deserve each other. It's just the United States. Well, the United States does deserve Trump as president. Yeah. If we're going to elect a fool like this, we deserve another 4 years of stupid, and in this way we can become second best again, and has-beens, and maybe we'll learn our lesson this time around.
And I know you and I have talked about this before, and we're going to up against our last break, and I've been kind of going back and forth on this topic, but it is interesting to see the changing of the Republican Party, of the business-minded, rule of law, conservative. Conservative doesn't mean what it used to mean. Conservative now means almost the opposite of what conservative means. You have people that are blaming everyone else for their challenges: immigrants, LGBT people, trans people, punching down on everyone else, and everyone's keeping them down. That's what, to them, conservative. That's not really the true term. So it's interesting to see the changing of the political landscaping. The more educated, urban, more progressive type of individual, more business-minded, more professional, are more leaning more towards Democrats, and the more rural, less educated, blaming it. I've used the term, the MAGA welfare queens, wanting the government to fix all their problems. It's interesting to see this kind of changing, and I know you've talked about this. I think what's interesting also to see is how the Democratic Party is changing also, and how we need more of the person you talked about in your show, the Crockett, Congressperson Crockett, right?
Yep.
I mean, you talked about that. Before we take our last break, can you tell us about that story, which I thought was incredibly interesting?
Congresswoman Crockett, in one of their committee hearings was mentioned Nancy Mace, and said that obviously Nancy Mace is needing to fundraise because her campaign is broke, and so she says trans,
Yep.
and is making this big deal about bathrooms and all this. And the reality is that's the whole point. These current Republicans have nothing to do with social conservatism and physical conservatism or financial conservatism. These people are all self-serving idiots, and
it's all about being a celebrity.
Conservatives. Yep. They're celebrity idiots.
It's about entertainment.
And Mace, and I'm not going to give her the title, nor does she deserve it, but she's a terrorist and a moron, and the idiot of the third kind. And when she runs her mouth about trans people and endangers people and threatens people, and she threatened Congresswoman Crockett with physical violence and in Congress, and you're going, they're literally the lowest common denominator. They're a party of low-hanging fruit.
Yeah.
Not in a good way. And it's an insult to fruit. But these guys are double queens. They don't even know how to pull their ass out of head of their ass. And the reality is they're just a party of stupid mouth breathers that look like a clown ass Hulk Hogan ripping their t-shirts and screaming at the top of their lungs. And MTG looks like Dog the Bounty Hunter. So here we go.
I did think I looked up on our before we did this show, but the Nancy Mace thing, I did find it interesting because when you said that, she said, do you want to take this outside? And Congressperson Crockett had kept her cool and all kinds of stuff, but I did find it interesting just the optics of that. You have this very loudmouth white lady who is just a bunch of talk, the drunk lady at the bar, turning to a professional lawyer, African-American woman, accomplished woman,
brilliant,
and saying, do you want to take this outside? And I almost want to see, Congressperson Crockett turning and going, you fool. I mean, you know what? I mean, my money would be on Congresswoman Crockett. I don't like violence, but my money would be just one slap, and it would be just, it's always the loudest of the mouths that do these kind of things.
Of course.
And it's just, it's funny. The optics to me.
Nancy Mace go get wine drunk with MTG.
Exactly. And come out. We're gonna,
I mean, quite frankly, I've always thought MTV's probably trans, trans fan. And I don't know why, they use this as their fundraising technique and scare the crap out of people with trans people, because anybody knows these trans people know that for the most part, we're pretty chill.
Yes.
But I guess maybe because we are chill and there's so few of us, it's an easy but what a dumb they are such a dumb footnote in history, and obviously the era is going to be long for 50 years ago. They're not going to be talking about this crap. Because right now we got the reality talk show hosts and morons running the Republican Party, and I think eventually they're gonna get a grip and start running. They're gonna get a grip and start.
America will tire of this.
Well, I think they pretty hard. I think once Democrats offer a better alternative,
like a Congressperson Crockett.
Here's our part: is recruiting Congressman Crockett, Balak from Vermont, Newsom in California, and taking out the old guard, the Bernies, the Bidens, the Clintons, and just saying, time for y'all to have a seat. You're not resonating with the American public. And taking our superstars that test the best putting them front and center and just peeling our ears back and saying, we can win this. Just like Bill Clinton set with, the Southern Democrat governors in the leadership council in the late 80s and early 90s. They set a path, and in 1992 won an improbable win.
Yeah.
And they got reelected in 96, and then we had Barack Obama in 08 and 2012. There is a pathway to success, but we got to play our own game. But we also got to pick. You look at who we picked in those specific eras, and we led from the front because we picked people that really stood out. And I love Biden. I love what he did, in these 4 years, and Vice President Harris did a phenomenal job. They just weren't it. And it just didn't get it done. And I'm not trying to be mean. And I love Vice President Harris, and I really, really, really wish she was getting inaugurated. But she just didn't. She just didn't get it done. Yeah. Biden didn't get it done, and he just ran out of gas this lifetime.
Yeah.
And we should have, could have, would have, but in 2026 and 2028, we need to learn from this and go, hey, the pathway to success looks like this, and then develop the cohesive plan and game plan right flipping now. And things like what Ballack is saying, Crockett is saying, Newsom is saying, all these people, these superstars in our party, the Sarah McBride, Congresswoman elect McBride, that's now a Congresswoman. These type of people we've got on our team. We've got superstars. We just need to highlight them, low light the people in our party that just don't stand out, and we need to ask Bernie and those people to step back and step off. And if even like AOC, if she can't hack it, don't highlight the people that, hey, they had their shots. AOC never really made it. She never really made anything with her career. Let's not highlight people that consistently are losers.
Sure.
And I love Stacey Abrams here in Georgia, but she didn't cut it. And if you can't cut the mustard, and you can't create the bandwidth, don't highlight them.
Yeah, good, excellent point. And who knows? And maybe we'll have a Congressperson Jenny Gunn. Hey.
Absolutely. No, thank you. No, thank you.
All right.
Love you.
Listen, if you like what you hear from Jenny, she does have a show that comes on every Wednesday at 11:30. We just taped her show this morning. She was on fire this morning. Don't forget to join her show every Wednesday at 11:30, and we'll be right back on Coffee and Pan Dulce right after this.
Hey, thanks for listening to us as always on Coffee and Pan Dulce. And just to let you know, we're on all the audio podcast platforms. So working out or whatever, you can just listen to us. Or if you want to see our bright, shiny faces, we're on YouTube and Facebook. You can even be fans and you can comment on our shows on the Facebook platform and drown out people who don't actually listen to the show but like to play us. But anyway, we appreciate y'all and very much, and keep on listening so that Christian and I are just not sitting here talking to ourselves. Have a great year. Hey y'all, thanks as always for listening to Coffee and Pan Dulce. And guess what? As part of our Cannis Media family of shows, we have a sister show that's been running alongside the Coffee Show for 6 years, 6 seasons. And it's Two Queers in a Truck. And in fact, we've been on air, as it says right behind Christian, as we record this, in case you're watching the video version of this. It's exciting. It's a little different. It comes more from obviously the queer perspective, because it's Two Queers in a Truck. And we invite you to listen to it. You don't have to be queer to listen. And I promise it most likely will not give you gabies. I can't 100% verify that, but it's just a medical rumor started by me, actually. But anyway, come out and check us out on our sister show, Two Queers in a Truck, and all the exciting 2025 news shows on the Cannis Media family. As always, thanks for listening, and we'll see you next week. Bye, y'all.
Bye, y'all.
Up next is Two Queers in a Truck with Jenny and Christian. And hope you guys tune in. We'll see you in about 15 to 20 minutes. Thank you. Bye.
Welcome back, everyone. So don't forget to join Jenny's show, Two Queers in a Truck. It comes on every Wednesday at 11:30. on all of your podcast platforms. Good. I said that. Now, let's jump directly. Any last words about America's felon president? Okay, yeah.
Nope.
Don't want to spend any much time. Yeah, we got 4 more years of this, so it's gonna go by so fast, Jen.
Oh yeah.
We're gonna be talking about 2 years from now. Do you remember who we were?
Dumpster's already got 1 foot on the banana peel. We'll see. Anyway.
Yeah. All right. Let's jump into our Pendejo Chronicles.
And this is the Pendejo Chronicles.
All right, our Pendejo of the week is Meta, a company. What's his name? Mark Zuckerberg? Is that Zuckerberg? He announced, when you watch this, it would have been a week old, but he announced that they are getting rid of their fact checkers. They're getting rid of them. I didn't know they had them, but they're getting rid of their fact checkers to make sure that what is posted is actually factual. And they're going to put on the community notes, this may or may not be true, and so forth. And they're moving their some of their monitoring, people who monitor what goes on Facebook and so forth, on Meta, which means Threads as well, and also Instagram. They're moving that from California to Texas. Apparently they think, and this is what's so delusional, they think that the people that do the monitoring, just by moving them from California to Texas, is suddenly going to make them different. It's almost as if though they think that the religious right and the evangelical Christians are not applying for these jobs. So it's not like they're going to suddenly get these MAGA people that are applying. They still have to apply for the job, and the MAGA people can't really keep a job. And so I think it's more cosmetic. People think, okay, they're not liberals in California because there aren't, not everyone in California is liberal.
No.
So.
Well, and also too, quite frankly, it's a tech job.
Yes.
Unless they're going to set this up, in some trailer parks, they're not going to call.
They're going to have to, hire people in the.
Come on, they're not.
They're going to have. They're going to have gay people. They're going to have black and brown people. They're going to have trans people. It's going to be the same.
They're going to set up an office in Austin or someplace center like
in San Antonio,
big old blue ass city in Texas, and move it from a blue ass city in California. Here's the real thing: they're not moving that, because it's out of California. The thing of it is, it's the conservative thing to do, to say, oh, I just don't want to pay these taxes or do this or whatever the fuck, because I hate really good quality of life. So let's go be miserable in Texas. And Meta is one of the reasons that Meta struggles, is because Meta it makes bad decisions like this, like they did in 2016 when they made that. And it's one of the reasons why the cool kids wanted the TikToks, which is going to be shut down pretty soon. It hasn't already. And people are also going to rebel and stop using the gram as much, and it's going to kill them. And here's the bottom line: you keep doing stuff like this as a business person. Here's the issue with a business person: obviously picking bad decisions, reaching for a certain demographic, is that you're going to ignore the other 60%, 70% of Americans that don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I don't care where Facebook employees live.
Sure.
Most of them are probably virtual anyway. It's a virtual job.
Yeah.
And especially if you're a software engineer and developer, you can sit in India.
Sure.
You can sit in China. And you can do this. If you can speak English, or you have a Google Interpret program, you can run the screening thing from the UK, Canada, Mexico, wherever.
Texas.
I could live in Texas. It doesn't matter. Most of these jobs are jobs. You can log in on a VPN and I can Costa Rica. It doesn't really matter.
Yeah. Well, so here's the deal. We got America's Felon president. Our show has ended. We've got 4 more years of this wonderful. I say we've got a good year and a half of. I think the last. Yeah. I think the last 2 years of his presidency are going to be. He's kind of a lame duck because he can't run again. So we just got to get through a year and a half. And then I think we're going to see the 2018 midterms, or the 2026 midterms,
2026,
and then and then the 2028 presidency. And so the MAGA era now, the countdown is, and it does kind of feel this way. It has peaked, and now it's on its way. And I think it's going to unravel very, very quickly because, as you say on your show all the time, it's just they don't have the ability to. They're very easily distracted.
It peaked at the end of 2017. It's been all downhill from there.
Yeah,
and they definitely have the B team and the C team.
Yeah,
on this administration, the low hanging fruit, and where in the world is JD Vance? So they're at the bottom of the barrel. When they scrape up a second rate author and run him as vice president and then drop him in the grease the moment they get elected. Look at what they're doing.
Yeah.
Watch what they're doing and then realize for the most part they're not really a threat. They're going to do some stupid things this year.
Yeah.
It's going to backfire like it always does because they're with no gun, and they are the town drunks and the loud girl at the bar, and they can take their white trash ass to the house. And we'll take back Congress in 26. We'll take back 28. And then this worst part of the recent history will be over.
Yep. Excellent. Well, there's optimism there. All right. Listen, we want to thank everyone for joining us this week. Next week is going to be our last show of January already. Wow.
Yep.
Last show of January next week. We'll be talking about Trump's Operation Wetback 3.0. And once again, I hate to use that term, but that's really what it is. It's Operation Wetback, and it's 3.0. It'll be the third time that America has done something like this. But more importantly, I think what we'll be talking about is, and Jenny touched on this on her show, remember all those promises that Trump made? On day one, he's going to end the war in Ukraine. On day one, he's going to end the hostage crisis in the Israel-Hamas war. On day one, he's going to put gas prices in half, and grocery prices will be reduced. So,
come on.
Yeah, we'll see what happens. We'll see you next week in Coffee Pan Dulce.
Bye, y'all.
Dance out. Bye, y'all. Here we go.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. As always, happy 2025 again. And it's going to fly by fast, but we appreciate you always. Otherwise, Christian and I not that we don't do that too often.
That's right.
But anyway, we'll see you next week. We appreciate you guys as always. Bye, boo.
Bye, boo. Bye, y'all.
Hey, y'all. Thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And one of our big things is that if you missed any of our other shows, we are on Facebook. We're on Spotify. We're on Apple for the most part. And a bunch of other audio podcast platforms. So if you've missed us, come back. The water's fine. Tip on in. It's 85 degrees here in my imagination. But anyway, we have 332 episodes in the tank. You can pull up any of them. And most of all, we have fresh ones dropping most weeks. And we got 3 more shows coming. Be excited. But as always, thanks for listening to Coffee Pan Dulce. And look forward to the 2025 season. Thanks, y'all.
Hiya.
Next up, thanks for watching Coffee Pan Dulce. Next up is 2 Queers and a Truck. Stay tuned.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.
Sounds great.
It sounded like a telenova. I mean,
I'm trying to. All I have to say is go. Yes.
As a non-Spanish speaker.
All right, Jen. We'll just talk for about 5 minutes about the historicness of him being the first America's felon president.
Okay.
All right, here we go. All right, Jen. We only got about 3 minutes left, so we'll just finish up with America and then do the pendejo of the week. Here we go.
Coffee and Pan Dulce. How's that? Coffee and Pan Dulce.